When a completely new idea comes around, predictably there is misunderstanding and apprehension. The more unique and original the idea, the greater is the reluctance to see it for what it is and recognize its potential. Call it the shock of the new. As a populist candidate, you've got everything stacked against you. Funding your campaign is next to impossible. Both major parties promote a neoliberal agenda, viewing populist progressive initiatives at best with suspicion, at worst with hostility and rejection. We saw how the faux progressive Democratic Party destroyed the campaign of Bernie Sanders. Then there's the media, owned by a handful of major corporations and doing the bidding of the rich and powerful ruling elite, which either marginalizes and mocks someone like yourself or ignores you altogether, making it all the more difficult to get proper exposure for your candidacy and a fair hearing for your ideas. Often progressive ideas themselves are the brunt of jokes in the three-ring circus that campaigning for office has become, objects of derision, and the message bearers subjected to malignant attacks and mockery. Look at the way Ralph Nader was constantly derided as a curmudgeon, a cranky old eccentric. But all is not lost, because there's one thing you have as a populist candidate which no amount of Orwellian spin or cheap vilification can deter. There's something no amount of vaporous campaign rhetoric, no catalog of empty campaign promises, no campaign chest filled with the legal bribes of deep-pocketed donors can deny. Nothing your opponents can say or do can erase this simple, powerful, and we believe decisive fact. You have the people on your side. If you are a true populist progressive, you have, depending on the specific issue, between 62% and 80% of the voting public in your corner, wanting real change, wanting someone to fight their fight, thus ready to support you. The challenge in this day and age of electoral campaigns, which run into the millions of dollars, is letting the voters know, as a true people's candidate, who you are and what you stand for. And not just letting them know, getting them to trust and believe in you, invest their faith in you, know in their hearts and minds that you are for real, that you are the only candidate with the honesty, integrity, transparency, commitment to go to Washington, D.C. and faithfully represent their interests, their desires, their vision for the America they want for themselves, their neighbors, their communities. The corollary to that is alerting voters how they're being manipulated and conned by a rigged system. That is, exposing your opponents as the smooth-talking frauds that they are. This sounds harsh, but it's really not. Congress is now filled with professional politicians who will say anything to get elected. They have teams of speechwriters, spin doctors, and psychologists putting together pleasant-sounding, hypnotic speeches and lovely TV ads. They have image consultants and public relations specialists who know how to put lipstick on a pig and make it look like a beauty pageant contestant. The competition is tough, ruthless, merciless, sometimes sociopathic. This is why we developed the CFAR, the Contract for American Renewal. It is your direct link to voters. It is your bond, your shared commitment to create an America that works for everyone, not just the rich and powerful. It's how you can take truth, honesty, integrity, transparency, accountability, and turn them into a powerful weapon to decisively defeat the big money, manipulation, hypocrisy, and outright deception which have become pandemic in our current political environment. Let's get into what the CFAR is, why and how it's the best mechanism you will find anywhere to make your campaign an unqualified success and send you on your way to Washington, D.C. We're talking to you, every single populist progressive candidate out there running for either the Senate or the House of Representatives in the November 2018 election, who's serious about winning. Let's get started.